Hey, wrestling fans, official followers, and members of the YWC. Brian Crazy here with the FM brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com. I'm back with your TNA Impact Wrestling review from 11/10/2011. I thought it was a pretty good night on Impact, so let's jump right into it. We see Roode and Storm start off the show cutting promos on one another. Sting comes out and makes it official. Roode versus Storm later in the night, rematch for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Then we go into Crimson versus D'Angelo Dinero. It really looked like the Pope was going to be victorious in this match, but last minute Crimson reaches deep down inside, pulls out some momentum, hits a huge power maneuver. 1, 2, 3. Crimson is still undefeated in TNA Impact Wrestling. Then we go to a backstage promo with Gunner. Gunner discusses his time in the military and how there was a chain of command. Then he references Immortal and how there's a chain of command within Immortal. He says Eric Bischoff is at the top of that chain of command, and Eric Bischoff has given him orders to take out his son, Garrett. So then we go into that match. Gunner is accompanied to the ring by Ric Flair and Eric Bischoff. Garrett comes down to no Titantron, no music whatsoever. He gets in the ring, and he is all business. 2 huge arm drags and big back body drop that actually forces Gunner to retreat out of the ring. This is where Flair gets involved. The match is called off. Disqualification for Gunner. Garrett is your winner, and now Sting has the right to rewrite Eric Bischoff's TNA Impact Wrestling contract. Then we go to a backstage segment with Robbie E. and Rob the Freak Terry. They're trying to gain admittance into the locker room of Ronnie and Eric Young. Atlas Security is not having it. Then we go to a backstage segment with Storm. We find out that James Storm was just recently attacked. He is bloodied and laid out in his locker room. Then we go into Zema Ion versus Sorensen. Sorensen picks up the win over Zema Ion with a move that's very reminiscent of Cody Rhodes' Crossroads maneuver. It's an impressive move, whoever is delivering it. And I got to say something about this Sorensen kid. On his way down to the ring, he signs a football, hands it off to a fan, just kind of a thank you for, coming out and seeing me tonight. You might not have been here for me, but maybe I just gained another fan or something. I thought it was a pretty cool moment. Post-match, Kid Cash comes out. He wants Sorensen to sign the contract for the three-way dance at Turning Point. Sorensen signs the contract, and this is where Aries comes out. Aries and Cash beat down Sorensen and pose together. Now it's going to be three-way dance, like I mentioned. Aries, Cash, Sorensen, Turning Point for the X Division title. Now, Cash ain't going to lay down for Aries, and Aries ain't going to lay down for Cash, so it's going to be pretty interesting. They might have been in cahoots tonight, but Sunday it's going to be a different story. Then we go into Mickie James and Velvet Sky. Excuse me, guys. They're going after Gail Kim and Madison Rayne. Madison Rayne and Gail Kim just recently won the Knockouts Tag Team titles, and this is a title match. Kim and Rayne are successful after Karen Jarrett jumps up onto the apron and distracts the competitors. Then we see Storm and Sting backstage. Sting wants to know if Storm can wrestle later on. Then Ronnie E. and Eric Young defeat Rob the Freak Terry and Robbie E. Now, the 3 TNA wrestling stars were very involved in this match. Ronnie not so much, but he is not a trained competitor. But from the looks of this kid, I don't follow the show too much. From the looks of this kid, he looks like he's in great shape, and I'm sure he could be trained if he did want to become an in-ring competitor. He did hit a huge splash and did pick up the victory for his team. Then we go to backstage with Jarrett, Steiner, and Bray. They're talking about the big tag team match, and Steiner's like, I'm about to go drop a Hardy and Anderson in the toilet. Ray goes, hey, make sure you flush. You've had a lot of eggs today. I thought that was pretty funny. I really think that they need to bring back a little bit more of the humor character with Bully Ray. Keep him a heel. There's nothing wrong with keeping him a heel and keeping him, the current attitude that he has. But interject a little humor. Make him a little more like Bubba Ray, the guy that was over with the fans so much. Then we go into the next match. We see Daniels go against AJ Styles. This is the rematch from a few weeks back. Daniels attempts to impale AJ with a screwdriver until Rob Van Dam comes down. He doesn't get involved, but he distracts Daniels. AJ hits a Styles Clash 1-2-3. During this match, Bjorn Redney from Bellator Fighting Championships is on guest commentary. I didn't know too much about Bellator. I just did a little research on them, and I think it's something I might check out. It's not that I'm not a huge fan of Zuffa UFC. They do provide some very interesting fights with some very great competitors, don't get me wrong. It's just that at a certain point, how many times can you watch a guy get bludgeoned, to the point of being unconscious in the head? I mean, some of it is a little over the top, I'm not going to lie. That's just my opinion. A lot of fans feel different. I mean, I'm a huge fan of hardcore wrestling, but there's a line in wrestling. You know what I mean? We know it's K-Tap. Well, the majority of us know it's kayfabe. There's some that immerse themselves in the stories, and that's fine. I like to enjoy the story as much as the next guy. But at the end of the day, I know it's a business and they're out to make money. So then we go into Steiner, Ray, and Jarrett versus Abyss, Anderson, and Hardy. Abyss, Anderson, and Hardy are successful after Abyss hits a huge black hole slam on Scotty Steiner. Steiner's no small boy. So, and I mean, he got good spin on him, good lift, beautiful maneuver by Abyss. Is Abyss going to get the teeth replaced, or is that just part of his new look now? Curious about that. Then we go to the final match of the night, which is supposed to be Roode versus Storm. Roode comes out. Storm limps down to the ring. It takes him a while to get down there, but he's vicious. He hits a couple great maneuvers until he passes out from blood loss. This is the point where Roode acts like he's going to actually help Storm get to the stretcher, to get to the ambulance. But then Roode looks over at the referee and says, "Hey, is the match over? Did you ring the bell?" The ref goes, "No." This is where Roode rolls up Storm 1, 2, 3. Fortune comes down to make the save. Well, Kaz and AJ. There's only 3 members left in Fortune now that Daniels and Roode have gone their own way. Post-match, Sting comes out and makes it official. AJ versus Roode at Turning Point for the World's Heavyweight title. Now, I think it's putting AJ in the main event is a fantastic idea. I love AJ Styles. It's going to sell tickets. But this should have been pushed a week before. I know James Storm suffered an injury, so maybe that's why things changed. Maybe Storm was originally the competitor that they had in mind for the main event, Storm versus Roode. But they changed the situation, and AJ has been called up to take his spot. What was the plans for AJ all along? Whatever have you, AJ versus Roode this Sunday on pay-per-view. I can't wait to see it firsthand. I will provide a full review afterwards. I enjoy TNA a lot. Apologize, this video is up a little bit late. I've got a lot of things going on. I just recently took a new position at a construction company. So, guys, please comment below. Thanks for checking this out. I appreciate you guys sitting down, watching this review, just like you guys, I'm sure, appreciate us putting this content out for you. For the effing brain of wrestling and entertainment, Brian Crazy, as always, and I'll catch you later.